children with gray hair, and mothers leave their newborns right there. No kid fails suicide. No.
No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why.
Good evening, peace, hotep, assalamu alaikum. You are watching a special edition of the Final Call News Hour. I'm live. This is your man Herman Muhammad. Thank you for joining tonight. This evening. Right, Brother Jamil. The sinister Mr. Black. That's my guy. Praise be to Allah. That's my namesake. Gotta love a brother named Herman Muhammad. And Sister Yolanda, it's good to see you. Join the room, everybody. Please join the room. We're gonna build tonight. We're gonna have a good time. I wanted to come on last night, but the inauguration got in the way. But anyway, you're watching the Final Call News Hour. The Final Call News Hour is the partner of the Final Call newspaper and the Final Call online edition that, of course, you can get, and I would encourage you to get right now. Well, not right now, but directly after the show at finalcalldigital.com. Just in case you don't have any mighty FOI in your city, which would just be plain weird. But anyway, I am your man Herman Muhammad. Today we're going to be going over.
And they call the true brother, student in the ministry, Herman Muhammad.
That's him. Brother Jamil mentioned him. Today we're going to be going over the current edition of the Final Call just a little bit, but there's a few things that I want to talk about. So we're going to skip around, and hopefully we can get it all in within the time that has been allotted. The current edition of the Final Call newspaper, War at the Capitol. A presidential inauguration, an American insurrection, uneasiness, fear, and division plague the United States at a critical hour. Can she survive? Again, let me read that again. War at the Capitol, a presidential inauguration, an American insurrection, threats to national security and loss of national unity, uneasiness, fear, and division plague the United States at a critical hour. Can she survive? That's the latest edition of the Final Call News paper. And I wanted to come on. Actually, I wanted to come on and talk about this issue yesterday, but I got caught up, man. I got caught up in the inauguration of your new president and your new vice president, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I need to correct that because they're no longer President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, but now they're President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. So we're going to fix that text. But for now, the image will do, right? And so we want to congratulate them, congratulate America. Because I know, especially after watching the and you all bear witness if you watch the inauguration and you watch the concert and all that good stuff last night. I know that it seems like a cloud has been lifted off of America and the American people, a cloud that seemingly seems to be associated with the former president, Donald Trump. So if you all could bear witness to that, is it just me, or does it seem like they were singing "Oh Happy Day"? They was celebrating the fact that this cat, you know, got on that plane and went back to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. So the inauguration was big, man. It was big. Happy belated Dr. Martin Luther King Day. We did not have our traditional Martin Luther King Day parade here in the city of Denver because of COVID-19 concerns. Sister Melody, good to see you. But, you know, we love Dr. King. We love Dr. King. And I wanted to, and people oftentimes ask the question, you know what I'm saying, as to how do you guys feel about Dr. Martin Luther King and the Nation of Islam? And we absolutely love Dr. Martin Luther King, but we love that revolutionary Dr. Martin Luther King. And no one can explain it better than the national representative of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I just want to give you a little short video. Yeah, and if you're in the room, let's get some likes, let's get some loves, let's get some thumbs ups, let's get some thumbs downs. I don't care, just as long as you are participating, as long as we are trying to get this sort of information out to our people. But again, about Dr. Martin Luther King, man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave a talk a couple of years back where he talked about the revolutionary spirit of Dr. King. And while I have you, let's just hear from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because nobody could say it like him. And this is in regard to our beautiful brother, may Allah be pleased with him, Dr. Martin Luther King.
But in the last year of his life, you should read Tavis Smiley's book on the death of a king. And the preachers turned on Doc. Wait now. See, some of you are angry with me, thinking I'm trying to steal Dr. King's legacy. Hell no. Don't put that on me. And don't let the white man put that on you so you could put that on me. I'm raising Dr. King because it is wrong for you to think that that man died because he had a dream. That man was a revolutionary thinker in the last days of his life. Some of his inner circle turned on him. They didn't agree with him talking against the war in Vietnam. He was hurting that his own staff, some of them disagreed with him. Then churches denied him. They didn't want him in their pulpit. Now it's easy to put his picture up and talk that crap about how you love him. You a damn liar if you loved him. I want you to listen. If you loved him, why did you let the writers of history write him down as a dreamer and pacify you with all these streets and boulevards named after him? But if you read his life, in the last 2 years of his life, he met with my teacher. They had a beautiful discussion, February 66. I don't know what they talked about, but I know my teacher. He loved Dr. King, But he showed him prophecy. He showed him where we are to separate from this enemy and not be integrated into him as Moses didn't integrate the children of Israel into Pharaoh. So in that last night, when he said, I want to get the language straight tonight, he stopped talking Negro and began talking black. He even agreed that separation might be better for us for a while. Like a people sick or diseased, you take them out of the public and you heal them. And then you send them back to the world. I didn't know these were things that Dr. King was saying. And when I read it, I said, this man, you must know the reality of Dr. King. He's more than a dreamer. And don't you let them throw the dream speech on you from 63. Let them play for you the speech that he made in New York City when he condemned the hypocrisy of the Johnson government that's fighting a war in Vietnam against poor people there and practicing violence, then want Dr. King to preach nonviolence to us while they're training you to kill people that never did nothing to you overseas.
All right. That was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We had to get that in honor of our brother who we just celebrated his holiday on Monday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We had to play something in tribute to that brother and the work that he's done. And no one should address a true lion, a true revolutionary, except another lion, another revolutionary. And of course, that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This evening, again, you're watching the Final Call News Hour, and we're going to be dealing with a few things. The current edition of the paper is War at the Capitol, a presidential inauguration, an American insurrection, threats to national security and loss of national unity, uneasiness, fear, and division plague the United States at a critical hour. Can she survive? And like I was saying, fam, you know, I wanted to do the show last night, but I got caught up in the inauguration and all the festivities surrounding that. And you would think that from watching what we saw, you know, with regards to the inauguration and the celebration that they had, that nothing had happened on January 6th. But we must be reminded, and this is why this paper is called War at the Capitol, that on January the 6th, just 2 weeks ago, angry whites descended upon the Capitol of the United States. Angry white people. They descended upon the Capitol of the United States so that they could reverse the results of the election of Joseph Biden and Sister Kamala Harris. And these angry white people showed they proverbial behind. Let's not forget that just happened. And so while, you know, we're celebrating and watching this beautiful inauguration take place, we can't lose sight on the fact that it was just 2 weeks ago that this Capitol insurrection took place. And the paper covers that. And that, the thought behind the insurrection, that which caused those people to go to the Capitol and act the way that they did, is still festering. It's still festering, fam. So we can't be lulled to sleep by what's going on with regards to the inauguration and our representation at the inauguration, because that's what I was impressed with. That's what I was impressed with. And y'all could chime in if you feel the same way. I was just impressed with the beauty of our blackness, and it's shining through at the inauguration. It's like every time America is down for the count, black people come to save it. Is that just me? Y'all can chime in. Big Mike, Sister Melody's in the building. Peace, 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 family. Thank you for joining. You're watching the Final Call News Hour. And what I'm talking about is, for one, our new vice president, Sister Kamala Harris. And say what you want about the sister. I know she was a prosecutor. Yes, sir, Brother Jamil. I know she was a prosecutor. And, plenty can be said about that. And that can't be discounted. We can't forget the number of brothers that have been incarcerated due to her being such an effective prosecutor in the state of California. We cannot forget that. But I have to admit that the sister, on yesterday looked beautiful, man. Looked beautiful. The sister came out in her royal purple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that regalness and just shining, right? And then, of course, my brother Jamil mentions it before I can get it out of my mouth, but all praises due to Allah. Thank you, brother Jamil. That beautiful sister, the youngest poet laureate in history, Amanda Gorman. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I got a picture of this beautiful little sister. And she just lit the whole place up. And she is the talk of the country. All over the country, they're talking about this sister, Amanda Gorman. And we'll hear from her more and more and more and more. The sister did a profound poem that was, I mean, you just had to stand up, man. And I'm the non-emotional brother, and I was damn near brought to tears. And you right, Sister Yolanda, it was pure class. I mean, she just lit the thing up. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Because I'm watching the inauguration, and all the festivities, the concerts they had last night, and the music and everything was so upbeat. It was so hopeful. And at the same time, I'm still knowing that we're in the fall of America. At the same time, I'm still realizing that, just like this current edition of the Final Call, there was a war at the Capitol, right? Insurrectionists just did this thing. Yeah. Hey, look, Brother Jamil, man, you getting ahead of me, man. I'm gonna have to bring you on the show, brother. Brother Jamil says Sister Michelle Obama slayed. She did not come to play. Hey, look. So look, it's a war going on, right, brother Minister Jamil? And then at the same time, you so right. The beauty of our people and their representation and their love for this country that has shown them nothing but, man, don't get me started. It was just off the chain. So we got Kamala Harris looking fly. We got Sister Amanda Gorman just showed out with the poem, and she looked beautiful and radiant as well. But then we're not even gonna call them Barack and Michelle anymore. We're gonna call them Michelle and Barack, because Michelle Obama came out looking like Amazon black superhero. I mean, she came out with the belt buckle, right? And just rocked it, man. Rocked it. So, man, I was just impressed, man, with our representation at the inauguration. And you can't help but love black, man, when you seen this beautiful sister, Amanda Gorman, again, just radiant and just intelligent and well-spoken. And I mean, she made me go and pick up some books, Brother Jamil. You know what I'm saying? I need to go. I felt like I needed to read some more. I needed to go through this whole issue of the Final Call just so I could catch up with my beautiful little 22-year-old sister and this beautiful poem that she did. And, of course, our new Vice President, Sister Kamala Harris, and we're going to give her a chance. We're going to give her a chance. We know she prosecuted brothers. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that no soul is beyond redemption. And so, you know, we have to keep giving ourselves a chance because, man, we've been giving our enemies chances forever. And they don't deserve it at all. But I was thoroughly impressed. I was thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly impressed with the our representation. And don't mention J-Lo and all the rest of the people who did their thing. It was just a beautiful thing. But Sister Michelle and Barack. But Michelle, man, with that purple and that, man, she looked like one of the Dora Milaje from Black Panther, except for she had hair. Popping. So I thought it was beautiful representation, man. That's the positive piece that we could take from the inauguration. But let's not again forget that America definitely is still at war, because that which caused the insurrection at the Capitol still exists in real life. In real life. And on page 2, page 3 of this latest edition of the Final Call, there's a story entitled Division, Disorder, Danger. Outrage explodes inside United States loaded with arms, abundant anger. And then there's another article on the same page that says internal enemies and inauguration and insecurity. And so this article goes all into that which is bubbling beneath the surface, or that was bubbling beneath the surface, but now has made itself manifest in the form of angry whites descending upon the Capitol and having a straight up insurrection. Well, they was talking about hang Mike Pence, and they was straight tripping. But if you're a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you know that these days were coming. So, and Sister Yolanda, you right. You told me a while ago you have to give her a chance. So you right. I realize the error of my ways, sister. I'm with you. I'm with you. We do have to give Sister Kamala a chance. Well, we don't have to, but we should, in my humble opinion. But yeah, angry whites, man, descended upon the Capitol, and that's the reason for this paper. But look, so on page 3, and I just want to read a little bit of it, but I want you to really pick it up. And if you don't, and this is the issue that I'm talking about, the current edition of the Final Call, War at the Capitol. And if you don't have a brother that you could pick it up, you could always pick it up at the barbershop. But if you can't get there because you locked into your home because you're making your home your place of worship and you're still quarantining, you know, I understand. Just go to finalcalldigital.com and pick that thing up. Subscribe to the Final Call. It's the biggest, baddest, blackest, boldest newspaper on planet. It's news that you can use it is the most widely circulated black-owned and operated newspaper in the world. So, again, I want to just read from this latest edition of The Final Call just a little bit about this article and this chaos that happened. Armed National Guard troops patrolled U.S. Capitol grounds and camped out in congressional buildings as America prepared to go to war with herself. This article appears on page 3 and is written by our sister Anissa Muhammad. At least 20,000 troops were deployed for the inauguration of Joe Biden as the 46th president of the United States, but even practices for his swearing in were postponed because of threats at one point. Troops unloaded boxes of food, gas masks, and other supplies. As security fencing with razor wire attached at the top was installed near the White House and in downtown Washington, D.C. And the story talks about how these security measures, and of course we know the story, had to be taken because of this angry group of whites who descended upon the Capitol and them not knowing what was going to happen next. But the question needs to be asked, and you all should definitely get this paper because the Final Call digs into it. Online presence had already alerted the authorities. All of these different message boards that these white supremacists and all these Retrumplicans and these Trumpers were on already had allowed the authorities, the intelligence, to know that something was going to happen at the Capitol. But for whatever reason, the security was extremely lax. So much so that we know the story. Angry whites descended upon the Capitol. And Brother Charles, peace. Brother Deontay, assalamu alaikum. So one of the brothers, Tyrone Powers, asked a question he cited in the article. In other words, we really have to have hearings after the new administration and ask the FBI how this happened, asking the ATF, asking the other federal agencies why were they not communicating. Dr. Powers added, after the 9/11 attack, the 9/11 Commission said the reason for that attack was successful was because of lack of communication and lack of imagination. So they can write the exact same thing about what happened on January the 6th. And it continues on page 32. The same kind of questions, the same kind of people brought forward, and then some prosecutions of those people who incited this, who participated in this, or who had a fiduciary responsibility to stop this and didn't do it. And so, you know, Brother Powers speculates that there's something going on. There's something going on that's bigger than what you and I know about. There's something going on that's really on the cover. And, you know, we have to know, man, that the Trumpers, the Retrumplicans, those who are with him, those far-right extremists, the Proud Boys, the Boogie Boys, all of these different organizations who fill up these message boards that talked about what was going to happen on January 6th and what was supposed to happen on January 20th that did not happen. They exist. They're not going nowhere. Trump is gone, but those people are not going anywhere. We have to remember and be cognizant that 72 million people voted for Donald Trump. And many of them voted for him because they agree with him politically, but many of them voted for him because they agree with him in every way. And they agree with the whole white supremacist aspect. They agree with the whole dog whistling aspect. They believe in the whole code language that Trump constantly used for his 4 years while in office, saying, you know, make America great again, which we already know means make America white again. On Fox News, the Final Call cites some of the things that were being said by some of the hosts on Fox and other conservative outlets. On his Fox News show, Tucker Carlson Tonight, Tucker Carlson said while the acts were wrong, it was not an insurrection. It was not an act of racism. It was not an insurrection. It wasn't an armed invasion by a brigade of white supremacists. It wasn't. Those are lies, he said. He simply called it a mob whose emotions boiled over as mobs tend to do. Now listen to this cracker. Tucker Carlson. I mean, listen to this. He said it was not an act of insurrection. It wasn't an act of racism. It wasn't an armed invasion by a brigade of white supremacists. Man, I don't know about y'all, but if there was a picture of white supremacists in the dictionary, it would look just like it would look just like this here. That looked like white supremacy to me. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Rafael Pinello, peace, brother. If there's a picture of racism and racists and white supremacists, this is it right there. That man, I don't see no black people scaling them walls. And there was a few little Negroes in there. There was a couple of little spots in there. I'm sure there always is. Some of us always got to be around these people when they do what they do. And Brother Adio Abdullah says they was military and police. True. True indeed, brother. Which, again, the final call points that out in this article, which is why you definitely need to pick it up. Definitely need to pick up this latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. So the article goes on. Rush Limbaugh, on his program the day after the insurrection, conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh compared the events to columnist Sam Adams, Thomas Paine, and others who played roles in the American Revolution. So look, a lot of these people don't think that they are insurrectionists. They just think that they are revolutionaries, that they are reenacting or revisiting what was done in 1776. In fact, on a lot of those message boards, that was the theme. Today is 1776. They were starting a revolution. But, according to the government, the Congress, particularly the House, and even in the Senate, it was an insurrection. And from what I was looking at on television, it looked like an insurrection to me. But I digress. Pick up this latest edition of the Final Call. If you're in the room, listen. Hit some likes, hit some loves, hit some thumbs up, hit some thumbs down. I don't care. Just let people know that we here, and let's spread this sort of information. The current edition is War at the Capitol. This is the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. If you didn't get it last week, that edition was American Mayhem. And again, that same coverage. And you definitely want to read, let me point this out, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's article in the current edition, America Has Become an Armed and Angry Camp, which was taken from his historic lecture series, The Time and What Must Be Done. And he's telling the truth about, man, these white people got guns, man. And he points out, Negroes got guns too, but we don't have guns like white folks. We don't have guns like white folks, brothers and sisters. And the reality is, these white people, man, while we sheltering in place, while we're making our homes, our places of worship, they are at the shooting range. And they are shooting at black targets. So I say all of that to say, despite the beauty that we saw with the inauguration and the sense of hope and change that was sold to us, because it was sold to us. That was a Hollywood production. man, we gotta be cognizant. We gotta be aware that the enemy still lurks. The enemy still lurks. And instead of concentrating on what they have going, what we need to do is concentrate on what we have going. What we need to do, family, is concentrate on self. Concentrate on our families. Concentrate on our communities and making them better and more decent places to live. And then concentrate on building this black nation. Brother Saeed Malik, assalamu alaikum. So that's where we at, fam. So pick up that latest final call. Now I want to switch gears again. I told you I had a lot that I wanted to talk about. I want to switch gears a little bit because and all of this is related, man. We played the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he talked about Dr. Martin Luther King and this history. And so that brings up my next subject, because I called the video for a reason. The inauguration, war at the Capitol, and a night in Miami. Y'all know where I'm going. So I got a disclaimer. Well, I don't have a disclaimer. I'm going to just let y'all know. If you haven't seen the movie, A Night in Miami, turn off. Well, no, don't turn off. Keep watching. But I'm going to spoil some things for you because it's necessary. But go ahead and check that out. A Night in Miami. There's a movie on Amazon. And let me tell y'all the way that they're marketing this thing, right? It's called One Night in Miami. And it's an Amazon original. And it tells the story of Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke. 4 legends, one legendary night. And they are saying, and it was directed by our sister. I wish I had an image of this beautiful black woman, because I love her too. By our sister Regina King. And I don't know if it was her directorial debut, but in any event, they are talking this thing up. One night in Miami. They are talking it up. And I had to come on and say something about it. I had to, because, of course, if you all don't know, Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, of course, famous for being members of the Nation of Islam. And they're talking this movie up, saying One Night in Miami is the best movie of the year. The best movie of the year. Are y'all listening? The best movie of the year. And it chronicles the story of the night where Muhammad Ali wins the heavyweight champion by defeating the unbeatable Sonny Liston in 1964. And that night, he got together. True story. He got together with Sam Cooke, James Brown, and of course, the brother who they portray as his mentor, Malcolm X. It's interesting. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say what's positive first before I say anything negative. Again, I love Sister Regina King, and I love all of these brothers who acted in the film, and they should be applauded for their acting skills, because they did a very good job. They did a very good job acting this movie out. The dialogue was good. It was well written. It was adapted from a play. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Shahada. You're right, Brother Abdullah. They did kill Sam Cooke after that. They killed Sam Cooke 2 months before they killed Malcolm X. There's a reason for that. So let me say this. The acting was good. Sister Vanessa, Peace Queen. The acting was good. How you doing, sister? It was excellent acting. One night in Miami. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm gonna spoil it for you. The acting was good. And when the movie comes on, they say, listen to the language. They say, inspired by true events. Inspired by true events. And so here's the trick. There goes my brother Sharif. All praise is due to Allah. Assalamu alaikum, brother Sharif. They say inspired by true events. And then they open up, and I just got to tell y'all, like I said, I love Sister Regina King. But they open up throwing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan under the bus. They did that. They opened up. And so I can only, and you say, Brother Herman, what are you talking about? I didn't hear that. In the beginning of the movie, there's a conversation that's taking place between Malcolm X and his wife, Betty Shabazz. And they talk about, in very negative terms, this brother Louis X from Boston. And they're talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They're talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so you say, Brother Herman, you just sensitive, man. You sensitive because you follow Farrakhan, and can't nobody say nothing about Minister Farrakhan without you Muslims getting your stuff in a bunch. Well, for one, you goddamn right. You goddamn right. You can't say nothing about Farrakhan without the Muslims getting they draws in a bunch. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. But to defend the fact that I'm not just saying it because I love Minister Farrakhan, I'm saying it because here's a movie that is inspired by true events. But they didn't mention anyone else who lived in that period of time's name except for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. See, because they talk about Brother Malcolm and Muhammad Ali, but they never mentioned the brother who really brought Muhammad Ali into the Nation of Islam. Because it wasn't Malcolm X. Y'all better ask somebody. If you want to know the real about the Nation of Islam, ask somebody who's in the Nation of Islam. The real brother who brought Malcolm X into the Nation of Islam, who was responsible for him, who was there in Miami, was the brother who we know by the name of, and he's passed on, may Allah be pleased with him, Brother Abdul Rahman Muhammad. That's right, Brother Saeed, Brother Rahman. At that time, his name was Sam, Captain Sam. They used to call him Brother Captain Sam. He's the one who brought Malcolm X into the Nation of Islam. You better know this history. Oh, and thank you, Sister Ladio. She said, I seen the play, and that was not in the play. This was a subtle attack on the minister. And that's the point that I wanted to make. I wanted to ask the question. Thank you, sister, my dear sister, who's a beautiful actress herself, Sister Ladios Muhammad. She's seen the play. That was not even in the play. But they want to throw the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan under the bus, implying that he has something to do with the death of Malcolm. That's right, Brother Sharif, the Rock, Brother Rahman. So I'm like, whoa. So that was kind of whack. But again, the movie was, it is what it is. The other thing that I wanted to say, and Brother Sharif, I saw your commentary on the joint, and I agree with you 1,000%. They portrayed Muhammad Ali. First off, I didn't like the way when he was fighting the British dude in the beginning, how they made it seem like he rocked Muhammad Ali to sleep. That was just whack. That was whack. Yeah, brother fell down. It was the first time he got knocked down into in a fight, but he was by no means asleep. So that was one. Then the other thing that they did was they made it seem like Muhammad Ali was that he was teetering as to whether or not he really wanted to join the Nation of Islam. It was crazy, man. In fact, they had brother influence him, brother Sam Cooke influence him and have him take a drink. Now, anybody who know the history of Muhammad Ali and who's a Muhammad Ali fan know that Muhammad Ali, even before he joined the Nation of Islam, he never drank no alcohol. So why would they throw that in? Bruh. See, all these little subtle things, man. And I know it's the directors and the producers' artistic impression and blah, 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 whoop, 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 yada, yada, yada. But damn, man, do your research, man. A lot of this stuff is very important. There's so many things, man. There were so many different inaccuracies that happened in the movies. The brothers were on post, the FOI on post, and they out there, they outside while Malcolm and Muhammad Ali's inside praying. They out there praying, doing dua outside in the open. Man, come on, man. Anybody who FOI know, when you on post, you on post. If you praying, you standing at attention with your eyes open. You ain't doing dua. So many things. They made Malcolm bad. Brother Sharif, tell me if I start lying at any time. Brother David, Assalamu alaikum. They made Malcolm super sensitive. I thought Malcolm X was Ralph Tresvant in this movie, man. This dude was crying and fighting with Sam Cooke and Jim Brown, and I mean, just super. He telling brothers who not in the nation's business. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how big this is. When you're in the Nation of Islam, man, you don't talk no temple business outside the temple. But they made Malcolm, even though he was having his little issues, man, certain things, man, we just don't do. They made him, I'm telling you, they made him, man, soft and sensitive. There's stuff we just don't do. Then they got a scene, Brother Freddie, Assalamu alaikum. They got a scene in the joint where Malcolm's having one of his sensitive moments again with Jim Brown and Sam Cooke, and he about to get into it with Jim Brown. And the brothers come up and intervene, and Jim Brown makes a threat to the FOI, and the FOI just backs down. Hey, man, let me tell y'all something. And man, y'all all, Brother Freddie could bear witness to this. Brother David could bear witness to this. Brother Sharif could bear witness to this. Brother Jamil still on the phone, on the line. He could bear witness to this, man. Look. FOI, the fruit of Islam, the name given to the military training of men who belong to Islam in North America. Followers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad are the most fearless black people that God has ever made. I'm going to say that again. FOI, Fruit of Islam, the name given to the military training of men who belong to Islam in North America, followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, are the most fearless group of black men that God has ever created. And if them brothers had an assignment, and it's just an if, because, and I know it's just a movie inspired by real events, but I just want to, we don't want you to get caught up thinking that you could say something to not just to the FOI, but threaten the FOI's minister, the person who they have charge of protecting. Understand that. If you threaten the minister, man, look, they up on the roof. And I know Jim Brown was a cold dude, man. He ran the football like nobody else's business, right? But you mess with the minister, man, up on the roof. You might be flying off the top of that roof. I just got to tell you straight. I got to tell you straight, man. But so they did all sorts of different things in this movie. They took real artistic license with this movie and made subtle changes and inferences to get people to think a certain way about the Nation of Islam. Man, look, they're always trying to throw rocks. They're always trying to raise one who could oppose the man who we know to be the Messiah in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I just got to say that. Their efforts are concerted towards destroying him. And look, if you're coming in the room, thumbs up, likes, thumbs down. We don't care. Just let people know about the program so that we can get this sort of content out to our people, because they don't want it out. You know, Facebook has banned Minister Farrakhan. YouTube has banned Minister Farrakhan. Instagram, that's a part of Facebook, same scenario. Twitter, all of these social media spots have banned the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because they don't want this sort of content getting out to people. They do not want you to know the truth. My show, I've been on YouTube for, man, over 10 years. And so if you're watching YouTube, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. For over 10 years, but my following doesn't grow the way regular shows grow because of the content that we have, right? So anytime you're advocating and you're pushing the teachings of Black liberation, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, your show or your program, your feed is only going to see certain people, especially when you put certain things in your title. This is the way that YouTube algorithms and Facebook algorithms work. They don't want people to see the truth. They don't want them to see this point of view, right? So it's important for us, if we know that this is the truth and it's good for our people and that they need to learn this sort of truth, man, pass this on. Share it. Let people know, because, man, otherwise they're going to keep trying to pull the wool over our eyes with these little movies like One Night in Miami. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Daniel. It's good to see you, brother. Good to see you, black man. So yeah, they're going to keep pushing these movies. They're going to keep pushing these movies, and they're going to keep pushing this narrative. I am going to say this about the movie, that those brothers, they did do an awesome job. I mean, each individual one of them, the brother who played Jim Brown, he had those subtleties. He had a little eye squint like Jim Brown. And Malcolm, you know, he wasn't Denzel or nothing like that, but he did a pretty good job. Sam Cooke, I've never seen Sam Cooke outside of singing, but the brother Leslie Odom Jr., an excellent singer. He could sing a Sam Cooke song, And Muhammad Ali, man, the brother had all of Muhammad Ali's tendencies and all that good stuff down. It was just a story, man. They had a clear agenda as to what it was that they're trying to get across. You know what I'm saying? But again, we just got to be careful about what we take in. And the most important thing for us as an enlightened population is do your own research, man. Do not believe your enemy. You know, there's a verse, an ayat in the Quran that says, when the devil brings you news, look closely into it, lest you believe it and you do harm to another one. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking about what you're doing. So look carefully into whatever it is that these people bring you, because this was not a movie based upon fact at all. It was, like they say in the beginning, inspired by true events, but it wasn't based on actual fact at all. And so you should know that. And that's the interesting thing about these sort of pictures. They take artistic license without really giving a true disclaimer as to this being fiction. And Brother James, salam alaikum. Sister Cherise, good to see you. So yeah, man, we got to be careful, man. We got to be careful. And another one that does this same type of thing, and my brother Nuri pieced it apart one day on a broadcast. The Godfather of Harlem. That's another one. That's another one where they do the same type of thing. They mix truth with falsehood. They mix up times and this and that and the third. And that story, The Godfather of Harlem, comes on what's it come on? I forget the channel. But it's actually really good. But it stars Forrest Whitaker as Bumpy Johnson. And yeah. Good point, Brother Sharif. Brother Sharif points out that Amazon banned The Minister, and they made One Night in Miami in their studios. And that's true. They banned The Minister, just like Netflix. Netflix had agreed to stream the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's musical documentary. And then they pulled it in the 11th hour. So these people, you know, they're obvious enemies of the Messiah. And when I say the Messiah, don't get spooky. Don't get spooky. Don't think that I'm saying that Jesus of 2,000 years ago came back. Nah, man, a man who's 2,000 years ago, he gone. But I say the Messiah because Messiah means one who's anointed. Think it over. Think it over. But they are enemies of, and thank you, Sister Ladios, Godfather of Harlem is on Epics. But they do the same thing. They mix up truth with falsehood. They mix up timelines. They do it for dramatic effect. But don't, by any stretch of the imagination, believe that this movie is a reflection of true history. This is a work of fiction, an absolute work of fiction. Bright spot of the movie. And brother Daniel pointed out in the chat that Sam Cooke was killed, and he had a copy of Muhammad Speaks in his car 2 months before Malcolm X was killed. And they point out in the movie brother Sam Cooke's brilliant business acumen, and the fact that he had written songs for the Rolling Stones, and they was getting paid off of artists in London. Just a brilliant entrepreneur, man, and a black revolutionary. And that's the thing, that's the message that I want to get across to us this evening, is that when those brothers met for One Night in Miami, Jim Brown who actually called the fight, he commentated the fight, wanted to have a celebratory party. But Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, specifically Muhammad Ali, because it was his night, he the champ, he didn't call them to have a party, to engage in frivolity and foolishness. He wanted to get together with these great minds, Jim Brown, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke. He wanted to get together with these great minds so that they could discuss liberation strategies in the struggle to free our people in that turbulent time. And so, you know, may Allah bless my sister who directed the movie, Regina King, you know, with success. But the reality is, man, there's motives as for why she directed that film and not some white director. Got to keep it 100. They gave her the Farrakhan litmus test in film form. Are you willing to throw the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan under the bus? And I'm not going to say that she meant to do it, because I don't know that to be true. But I will say that that's what they did, man. So I just wanted to hip y'all to that. Just wanted to hip y'all to it. The movie is good, though. It's very entertaining. If you want to be entertained, if you want some frivolous entertainment. And Sister V, it's good to see you, ma'am. So yeah, man, pick up this current edition of the Final Call, War at the Capitol, because it's on. That thing still exists. Celebrate, brothers and sisters, the beauty of blackness that was shown at the inauguration, and that following night, our beautiful sister Amanda Gorman, I gotta just say that. Our Vice President, Sister Kamala Harris, and of course, man, that beautiful black couple, power couple with our beautiful sister Michelle Obama, Miss Dora Milaje with hair, looking like a superhero. But also know, fam, that is their attempt to lull us back to sleep. Because we had, like it or not, we had 4 years of Donald Trump when many of us came awake. Many of us woke up because Donald Trump, make no mistake about it, he let us know that we ain't have nothing coming. But let me say this too about Donald Trump, because even though he was a horrible human being, he let out Kwame Kilpatrick, Harry O. Did y'all know that? I'm just saying. I'm not gonna defend him, but Obama didn't let out Kwame Kilpatrick or Harry O or Kodak Black or the little weird looking dude Lil Wayne. He pardoned him too. So you know, even the devil could do some good every now and again. So that's it, family. We running up on time, man. Thank you all, man, for watching again. Pick up that Final Call. If you can't get by the barbershop, if you don't see any FY on the streets, and we should have some brothers on the streets, make sure you go to finalcalldigital.com and download that paper. Get it. What else do I want to say, fam? I want to say, check out what I gotta plug us, what we got going on in Denver. If you want to learn more about the Nation of Islam, go to NOI Denver. If you want to know what we got going on in the city of Denver. And if you like to become a part, drop us a line. We'll get back with you. We'll get you involved. All right. All praise is due to Allah. I got to plug myself. Let me see what else I got going on here. Go to astar2.com. If you want to get a copy of your little brother's book, I wrote a book, How to Get Rich in the Barber Cosmetology Game Handbook. Visit astar2.com and click on the link for the new ebook or a paperback edition, whichever one you want. Also, I'm going to be, because we need to, like I was stating earlier in the show, we need to really begin, instead of focusing on what the enemy has going on, and because like I said, we can get caught up in this inauguration, this whole emotionalism piece, and now it's hope and change again, and get lulled right back to sleep. But we really need to start focusing on what it is that we need to do as a people. So drop me a line. We're going to be, in the future, we're going to be talking about financial services. We're going to talk about getting our economy right. We're going to be talking about getting some real estate that we could call our own. Big V, what's going on, brother? Paul Markson, my man. I ain't seen that brother since high school. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be building on. So drop us a line if you're interested, especially in financial services, in particular, getting some insurance, life insurance, because the worst thing in the world is to come on Facebook and see somebody has passed away and somebody trying to do a GoFundMe to bury him. Man, be responsible and get some life insurance. If you need some, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up and we'll help you get on top of that. But I think that's it, fam. Listen, man, it's been a blast, man. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, spread this, because there is an attempt to censor this type of information. Oh, and I don't have an advertisement, but if you want to see the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan at any given time, of course, go to NOI.org. That's nationofislam.org, and you can see past broadcasts. Also, go to, if you want to see other videos of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan streaming, go to nfastudios.com, and I'll put that in the chat. nfastudios.com, and that is content by us, for us. It's our own streaming service, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually YouTube gonna put us all out of here. You know what I'm saying? Facebook gonna put us all out of here, because they're all, none of them are our friends. All right. So nfastudios.com, noi.org, noidenver.org. So I'm gonna say this and then I'm out. I promise you, I'm out, because I'm out of time anyway. I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this, revolutionary black people. I'm gonna leave you with a message of love. I'm gonna say the most revolutionary thing. Yes, thank you, Brother Daniel. Final Call radio station as well. And all you gotta do is go to finalcall.com and click on Final Call Radio, and you can hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan 24 hours a day. But I'm going to say this, the most revolutionary thing that you could do, fam, is not just to sell the Final Call newspaper, right? It's not just to do a podcast or do a broadcast where you talk about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Those are both revolutionary things to do. The most revolutionary things that you can do is not just open a black business, although that is a very revolutionary thing that we all should be doing. But the most revolutionary thing that we can do, family, especially black men, is find you a black woman, love and marry her, make some black babies, build a black family, and then we can have a beautiful black nation. Remember, man, stay black, stay strong. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Peace. We out. Check out the new outro. This is another one that they wouldn't approve. I was trying to promote the show. They wouldn't even approve the daggone outro. But here it is. We out. Peace. We'll talk to you soon.